Hello. I'm Dr. John, and this is the channel where health and education meet. Do you snore or constantly hear that you snore at night? Do you wake up tired, even after a full night's sleep? Or maybe you live with someone who sounds like a running motorcycle in bed? If any of these situations are part of your routine, this video is for you. Today, we're going straight to the point. Why do you snore? What's behind that annoying noise? And what can you do, in a practical and simple way, to solve it once and for all? We'll talk about the main causes, from physical factors to daily habits, and most importantly, how to take personalized action, according to your reality. If you want to sleep better, wake up more refreshed, and even improve your relationship, because yes, snoring affects the person sleeping next to you too, stick with me until the end. This video will help you understand your body and take the first steps toward quieter and more peaceful nights of sleep. Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night to that strange noise, and realized it was you? Well, snoring is more common than you think, and it's not just about an annoying noise. It happens when air struggles to pass through the airways during sleep. This causes the tissues in your throat to vibrate, producing the sound we all know. It's like your body is shouting, "Hey, something's here disrupting my peace." And here's something interesting. Snoring can be temporary, like when we have a cold, or it can become a nightly companion. Many people think snoring is just something that happens to tired people, but it's not that simple. The problem is that most people snore without even realizing it, and only find out when someone comments or they start feeling constantly exhausted. Snoring is, deep down, a signal that your body is asking for attention, and ignoring it can cost you dearly later on. But don't worry, there's a solution, and a good one. The most important thing right now is to understand that snoring is a symptom. A reflection of something happening inside your body that needs to be looked into more carefully. Just like a cough can indicate a cold or an allergy, snoring can point to anything from a simple cold to a more serious condition. The good news is that by identifying the right cause, you can act wisely. But to do that, we first need to understand where it comes from, because the reasons, they vary quite a bit. When someone snores, the sound may even seem funny from a distance, but the reasons behind it are quite serious and diverse. Snoring can be caused by physical obstructions, bad habits, or even the way the person sleeps. It's like a combination of factors that together block the airflow. The throat relaxes too much, air can't pass properly, and, boom, we have a nighttime concert of noises. Knowing why this happens is the first step to really solving it. A common mistake is thinking that everyone snores for the same reasons. But in practice, some people snore because they have a cold, others because of alcohol before bed, and some have structural issues, like the shape of their jaw. Not to mention those nights when the wrong position in bed becomes the villain. And of course, body weight also plays a part. After all, everything in our body is connected, including what affects our sleep. Therefore, snoring can't be treated as a generic problem. The ideal approach is to look at your routine, your environment, your body, and think, what might be causing this reaction? Observing the details, such as frequency, timing, and context, is like putting together a puzzle. And that's exactly where we start uncovering the most common causes. And I'll warn you that the first one is more common than many people imagine. Nasal obstruction is like that little piece of paper that clogs up the sink drain, small, but it messes everything up. When your nose is blocked, whether due to a cold, allergic rhinitis, or even a deviated septum, the air can't flow freely. The result? Your body tries to pull air through your mouth, and your throat vibrates, and that's when snoring appears. Many people don't even realize it, but sleeping with a blocked nose is one of the biggest villains of peaceful sleep. Think about it, those who have rhinitis, live in a polluted city, or sleep with the air conditioner running all the time are already at risk. The dry and dirty air irritates the airways and increases the chances of snoring. To prevent this, it's worth using a humidifier in the room, doing a saline nasal wash before bed, or even switching to an allergy-free pillow. Simple things that many people ignore but make a real difference, and when the problem is more structural, like a deviated septum or nasal polyps, the solution might be medical. Sometimes, a small surgery can solve the problem someone's been dealing with for years. That's why paying attention to your nose, this underrated hero, can be the key to a more peaceful sleep. But of course, it's not always just the nose that's involved. There's another thing many people don't even realize. You know that saying, people who sleep on their backs snore more? Well, it's not a myth, it's science. When we sleep in this position, the tongue and soft palate tend to fall back, partially obstructing the airway. That's when the snoring comes in, like a nighttime horn. It's as if your body is sabotaging itself while trying to rest. It seems simple, but just changing your position can greatly reduce the noise. Sleeping on your side is a great alternative for those who want to silence the nightly concert. In fact, there are positional pillows that help keep the body on its side all night. For those who don't want to spend money, you can sew a tennis ball on the back of your pajamas. Yes, this exists, to prevent rolling onto the wrong position while sleeping. Simple things, but they've shown positive results in many studies and, of course, in real-life experiences. And the most interesting part, your sleep position also influences your breathing, digestion, and even the quality of your dreams. Sleeping on your side, especially on your left side, can improve circulation and relieve reflux, which can also worsen snoring. In other words, a small habit change, combined with self-awareness, can be a game changer. But speaking of habits, there's one specific one that many people love, but that sabotages sleep forcefully. Many people say, "I'll have a little glass of wine to relax and sleep better." But what seems like an innocent ritual can become the villain of sleep. Alcohol and muscle relaxants do exactly that, they relax. However, in the case of the throat muscles, this relaxation can be a bit too much. The result? The airways become floppy, and snoring appears without asking for permission. It's like when you leave a net too loose, it gives way and sinks. The throat does the same thing. Air tries to pass through and makes the tissues vibrate, like out-of-tune vocal cords. A glass of wine before bed might seem harmless, but if it becomes a habit, snoring becomes a routine. And the same goes for certain medications, like anxiolytics and sedatives. They switch off the whole body, including the firmness of the airways. So, if snoring gets louder after that party night or on days when you've taken a relaxant, the reason might be there. The practical tip? Avoid alcohol at least 3 hours before bed and always talk to your doctor about the medications you're using. There are alternatives that won't affect your sleep. And of course, there's another factor that goes hand in hand with snoring and also deserves attention. Excess weight doesn't just affect your self-esteem or blood test results, it also weighs, literally, on your breathing during sleep. When there's fat buildup around the neck and chest area, the airways become more compressed. This makes the path for air narrower and more prone to blockages. So, during sleep, air has to force its way through, and snoring sets in. It's like trying to blow air through a tight straw. The sound is inevitable. Many times, the person isn't even severely obese, but they already carry a bit more volume around their neck or belly, and that already has an impact. Losing just 5% of your body weight can bring noticeable improvements in snoring. And you don't need radical solutions. Walking every day, switching soda for lemon water, cutting back on sugar, that's already a great start. Small changes lead to big results. And better sleep can be one of the first rewards. Furthermore, losing weight improves other factors that are connected to snoring, such as reflux and sleep apnea. It's a positive domino effect: lighter body, quieter nights. And if we think about it, snoring isn't just noise, it's a reflection of overall health. And when we talk about body structure, there's another physical detail that often goes unnoticed, but can be the root cause. Sometimes, snoring has a cause that has nothing to do with habits or temporary conditions. It can be purely anatomical. Some people are born with a jaw, roof of the mouth, or airways that favor snoring. In such cases, the tissues in the throat are more likely to collapse or vibrate during sleep, creating the annoying sound. It's like the body's structure is slightly tuned to the vibration of the airways. A deviated septum is a classic example. It causes one nostril to be narrower than the other, making it harder for air to pass through. This increases the chances of snoring, especially when someone sleeps on their side or back. And those with a more floppy soft palate or a larger tongue are also more likely to suffer from snoring. Sometimes, the cause is right there in the shape of your own body, and you don't even notice. The good news is that, in many cases, these factors can be corrected with medical treatments or even surgery, depending on the severity. When snoring is caused by something anatomical, it can be a bit harder to fix on your own, but it's not impossible. The important thing is not to ignore the problem and seek guidance, because a proper diagnosis can save you from sleepless nights and a lot of wear and tear. But before rushing to the consultation, there's one more thing you can try that might be simpler than it seems. Discovering the cause of your snoring can be an investigative process, but with a little attention, you can do a good self-diagnosis. The first step is to observe the frequency and context of the snoring. Does it happen every night, or just when you have a cold? Is it worse when you drink or sleep in a specific position? Observing these details is like putting together a list of clues that will lead you to the answer. A helpful tool in this process is recording the sound of the snoring. It might seem simple, but this action can reveal patterns that you wouldn't notice while you're asleep. If the snoring is louder in certain positions or times, this could indicate that the cause is related to posture or eating habits. Alternatively, if the snoring happens every night and doesn't seem related to external factors, it might be worth talking to a doctor to rule out sleep apnea or other health issues. In conclusion, snoring is an indication that something is out of place in the body, but there's no need to panic. The solution depends on understanding what's causing it, and the good news is that you can take several steps to improve your quality of sleep. By making small changes to your routine and environment, snoring can be significantly reduced, or even completely eliminated. Now that you have all the tools and practical tips to deal with your snoring, it's time to put everything you've learned into action. Start observing the patterns of your sleep, make changes to your routine, and, if necessary, seek help from a specialist. What are you waiting for to have more peaceful and revitalizing nights? Your sleep affects your health in ways you can't even imagine, so don't wait until later. If you found value in this video, don't forget to share it with others who might benefit from this information. And take a moment to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. That way, you'll stay updated on more content that can transform your health and quality of life. Together, we'll keep exploring ways to improve our well-being, step by step. Don't let snoring take over your nights. Take control of your health now. Apply the practical solutions we discussed and see how your life can change for the better. Subscribe and let's continue this journey toward quieter nights of sleep and a healthier life. See you in the next video.